finally a major update on the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie titled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I have been deadly excited for this movie, and I was taking down notes and names of every naysayer going, oh, it's animated, oh god, Seth Rogen's attached, this thing's gonna be awful. It's already looking like a major winner here, y'all. So what I'm going to be showing you here today, guys, is we have a couple snippets of footage. We're going to get the full-length trailer this Monday, but we still have our first 5 to 6 seconds here that look really exciting, and the full cast and characters we'll be getting here that makes this one of the biggest TMNT movies we've ever gotten. So please, I'm going to need your guys' opinions down below. Do you still have doubt about this movie? Which is so far your favorite voice casting? And just from this little sneak peek of footage, does it have you convinced this could be really good? Alright, so yes, during the Kids' Choice Awards, which I watched for the first time in over like 10 to 12 years, just because I knew they were going to show some TMNT footage, man, has that award show changed. I used to love watching that as a kid. Didn't know they gave awards to influencers now, man. Where's my award? Heck, they even gave a Lifetime Achievement Award to Optimus Prime. He had a speech and everything, y'all. But because they knew a lot of us were waiting for it, they waited to the very end of the award show to pop out Seth Rogen and the new cast who will be playing our main turtles. Props to them for not hiring a bunch of Chris Pratts to voice Raph, Leo, or Michelangelo, and actually hiring teenagers to play teenagers. I'm not super familiar with any of these kids, but like I said, the fact that they have teenage voices I think will add an energy to the performance here, and well, we got so many other incredible celebrities attached, it's not even gonna matter. But before I get into showing you those voices and freaking out over the cast here, let's take a look at that footage. Don't you dare copy stripe me, Nickelodeon.
That makes it louder.
And unfortunately, that is all we get right there, but to me, that is all I need. Those little snippets of seeing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles move about and the frame rate, which is looking very much inspired by Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I'm gonna love the look of this thing. The turtles to me already look great. I know I've already gotten complaints from some people saying they look like children, they look like little babies. I'm like, them Michael Bay movies ruined your perception of what these Ninja Turtles need to look like. They're not super Hulk beings. I actually prefer them to look scrawny and small because it's not about the size. It's about their martial arts and what they do with it that helps them win the fight at the end of the day. And plus, we never really had a TMNT movie that focuses them on a much younger state when they're preteens, when they're like 13, 14. So honestly, to me, this is looking great. I love the feel of it so far. I can't wait for that full trailer, because even just the logo alone and the title cards they've added to this cast make me feel like the vibe and look of this movie is going to be amazing. So just jumping really quick into it here, I do want to at least show off the 4 main Ninja Turtles here, because along with their name and who's going to be voicing them, you get a taste of the personality that these turtles will have. And I feel like this was such a great way to announce the cast. So you have Leo here with a piece of a broken board with his blue headband and mask. I love that. Then you have Mikey where his name is made out of pizza. That was kind of clever of them. Then Donnie's here being the smart one. You can see they have kind of a digitized look to his name along with a bunch of random equations. And then Raphael here, who looks like he'll be going by his nickname Raph, where he has a name kind of made up of steel because he's always, of course, got to be the tough one of the group. But from there, let's jump into the next one they announced here that immediately had me jumping up and down. Jackie Chan voicing Splinter. That could not be more perfect voice casting in my opinion. Splinter needs to come off as wise, knowledgeable, and be able to also discipline these turtles. Jackie Chan is going to be able to deliver that voice. We also just don't know too much of the origin or what they're going to change up from the stuff we do know in the TMNT world. Knowing that Jackie Chan is going to be the voice of Splinter, I think they are going to go with the origin that this Splinter was human at one point and then was reverted into a rat instead of maybe the other way around. But again, we see his furry brown colors, a coffee pot, and even his purple robe. Such a great way to introduce the cast. This is probably my favorite one of them all. Then you have Edebiri, who's going to be voicing April. I'm not too familiar with this actress, so I can't comment much. I'm sure she's gonna do a great job. Also loving how her card has the April colors, the yellow and red. I'm kind of curious to see the age range they're gonna give this April. Is she gonna be a grown woman, or is she also gonna be a teenager along with these turtles? Then bringing us to the first curveball here that has me kind of scratching my head, and maybe some of you way more knowledgeable turtle fans can help me out here. We have Ice Cube voicing Superfly. Now this wouldn't be that big of a head scratcher to me, but then when I saw Baxter Stockman was also going to be included in this movie and he was going to be voiced by Giancarlo Esposito, amazing voice casting right there. From what I know of the TMNT, usually Baxter Stockman turns into this fly mutated creature, so I would think Giancarlo Esposito would also be voicing the Fly, but maybe in this movie they're gonna separate the characters, or maybe do a Hulk situation that once he turns into the Fly, his personality kind of changes along with his voice. I kind of don't think they'll go that route. I think they will keep them separate characters. But again, loving what they've done with the title cards here. I'm sure Ice Cube will be a cool iteration of Superfly over here, and then Giancarlo Esposito as this scientist. Usually he's portrayed very dorky and comedic like in the Michael Bay produced movies they had freaking Tyler Perry play Baxter Stockman. Giancarlo Esposito does not have that geeky nerdy tone. He's gonna have that soft sinister demeanor, and I think he's gonna play a vital part into what the plot of this movie is, because let me tell you, from this voice casting I got a pretty good idea of what they're gonna do now in this movie. Bringing us to two teammates here that again I think is great casting. We have Bebop and Rocksteady being voiced by Seth Rogen and John Cena. Seth Rogen being the producer of this and kind of the one creating the story for this movie. I think of course he had to give himself a voice role. Bebop works. This would also be like the second time he voices a warthog since he did it in the live action Lion King movie. And John Cena as Rocksteady. I think John Cena has great comedic timing, and these two characters are always partnered up, bickering back and forth. Probably my favorite pair of villains that get to interact with the Turtles. Super happy with this casting so far. This doesn't give me Mario as Chris Pratt vibes. I know, I gotta get over that, but I'm just saying. Then this brings us to a whole bunch of random mutated villains in the Ninja Turtle lineup that at first I was like, man, this movie is stuffed. So many characters. How are they gonna pull it off? Then the plot of the movie kind of clicked for me. So just kind of rounding off here, we have Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko. Like I was mentioning earlier, a lot of these origins and characters change because there's comics, TV shows, video games of the Ninja Turtles, and sometimes they tweak things up. But all you really need to know about Mondo Gecko is that he's a mutated gecko that usually rides a skateboard. You have Naticia Dimitroi, who's going to be playing Wingnut. Again, another mutated creature, but it's also supposed to be a spoof of Batman in the TMNT world. You have Rose Byrne playing Leatherhead, which is a mutated alligator. Post Malone in here playing the character of Ray Follett, and again, another mutated creature that is usually a stingray. Hannibal Buress, super funny comedian in my opinion, playing Genghis Frog. I actually do remember them from the TV series, and they were supposed to be Shredder's version of the Ninja Turtles. He had a group of 4 frogs that he was training, same as Splinter with the Ninja Turtles, and Genghis Frog was one of them, where he also carried this giant battle axe. Bringing us to, I think, will be responsible for a lot of the mutants in here, Maya Rudolph playing Cynthia Utrom. Now, I'm not sure about the Cynthia part, but the Utrom should be familiar because those are those brain alien looking things in the TMNT world that we usually know as Krang. Seeing the amount of mutated characters that'll be popping up in this movie and realizing the title of this film is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem, the plot seems obvious, is it not? Something is going to happen in this movie where either the Utroms, these aliens, come down, or maybe Baxter Stockman has something to do with it, or even maybe a team up where they unleash the same ooze and mutation that gave the Ninja Turtles their powers onto the city, where we have just mutated being after mutated being popping up, and they have to take them down one by one. That to me would be the only explanation for why there's so many mutated animal-like creatures popping up in here. They must be a result of a wider thing that went down, and now the Ninja Turtles have to stop them. Again, that's just me speculating. I'm sure when we see the trailer Monday, we'd get a better idea. The only glaring cast member in the TMNT world kind of missing for me is Shredder. Where's my boy Shredder at, man? He wasn't anywhere in the cast listing. That to me knows he's probably not going to be the focus of the first movie, and he'll be someone teased for the next one, which hopefully they get a next one. Either way, I'm loving this. I wanted to do this breakdown for you guys. Let me know what you think of this casting and that small bit of footage for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, as well as don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Cowabunga, dudes!